have a normal intro because I was really too busy smoothing other things over to get it done. So, Ori, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Fanny Probe, where, where an ethics committee is going to be examining, inspecting, scrutinizing one district attorney, Fani Willis. Back to back days of Fanny. You don't get Fanny Day every day, but every time you have Fanny Day, you know you're going to enjoy it. Oh my God. Let me explain to you why today's probe is particularly meaningful, potentially. Occasionally, so ethical violations, they notify you. All right, we looked into this and it's over. The idea of having a hearing on it, that would be usually if they don't love your initial response. A public hearing on it seems really strange. Really strange. Perhaps because this is a district attorney, so they feel that the public has more of a right to oversee this. Okay. I cannot imagine that anyone else who's located in Atlanta, any other attorneys located in Atlanta who has a ethics complaint kick in against them, they end up having to have their dirty laundry being aired publicly. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. I can't even imagine that's the case. I can't even imagine. It doesn't seem to make any sense at all. So I'm going to assume that there's some sort of special circumstance here because it's district attorney Fani Willis. Possible. I'm more curious about whether it's because she's district attorney Fani Willis, or if it's because she's district attorney Fani Willis. If you catch my meaning, meaning is it by dint of her position, and that anyone who is in this position would be facing this scrutiny, or potentially it could be it's a political thing. People don't like her. Some people love her. Some people really don't. I happen to be in the latter camp. I really don't like her. But it's an interesting thing, and we the public do want to know. I guess you can say that she is a certainly an elected official. She loves reminding the public all the time, all the time. I'm elected official. But I'm a district attorney. She loves reminding us. But I will tell you this. This has potential to be incredibly spicy very quickly. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen. It feels like we're on very much in uncharted waters. And what we have no idea what fish are going to swim by. We don't know if they're going to be mermaids. We don't know if they're going to be sharks. We don't know what we're going to have. We are in uncharted waters. I do not know if this will be a meeting which will last 20 minutes and be over. I don't know if they're going to say that they're about to commence a month-long hearing. I literally have no idea. What I can promise you is however long this is going on, I will be covering it because this is a phenomenal story. It seems more and more clear the more this gets analyzed, the more this gets dissected, the more desperately Fani Willis has tried to cover her own butt poorly, repeatedly poorly, including perjury, which brings me to something I wanted to share with y'all, which was a great catch by my good friend Viva Fry. Great catch by him that I wanted to share with you all. I only noticed it last night after my show ended. I was like, oh wow, Viva, great catch that I missed in the moment. Let me share this with you. So I think this is the sort of thing which gets Fani in trouble. This is the sort of thing that gets her in trouble. Check this out. Check your tweet from yesterday about your live stream announcement for a video link. I don't know what that means. But first, get that Fani. No Fani pros and marbs. This is what I want to share with you here. Not that. Definitely this. During her testimony, Fani Willis specifically and categorically denied having visited the White House when she was in D.C. I'd forgotten that. This means that Fani not only lied under oath, but lied about having visited the White House because she was clearly colluding with the Biden administration in the political persecution of Trump et al. It's beyond disqualification for conflict of interest. This is government election interference. Why the hell is she meeting with Kamala Harris? I mean, this is something that we all were saying. They're like, why is she meeting with her? But basically, it's beyond the Russiagate hoax. This is pure criminality that attacks the very fabric of the United States of America. The irony is that Fani didn't even have to answer the question because it was an objection, but she was too eager to lie to cover up not only wrongdoing, but that of POTUS and VP as well. It's a scam of astonishing proportions, unless I have a misunderstanding. This is the clip here. This was very well done by Viva. Kudos to you, my friend. Look at this.
I understand your testimony is you never took a trip to D.C. with Mr. Wade.
That's correct.
Personal or business?
That's correct.
Were you ever in D.C. at the same time as Mr. Wade?
I was not.
Personal or business?
No, me and Mr. Wade have not been to D.C. at the same time. However, since Mr. Wade has been on this case, he's been to D.C. Since Mr. Wade has been on to this case, I've been to D.C. What has not happened is we have not been in the District of Columbia at the same time. Now, the only thing I'm not sure about with what you asked me is if I've been to DC personally, because I've got a lot of personal friends in that area. But
personal friends, okay.
I know that I have been to DC. I did an interview at Howard University. I went to DC for that. Seems like I've been to DC one other time. Oh, I went to DC for the Global Summit. Actually,
went to the Global Summit. Okay.
Yeah, those were two separate trips.
My next question is based on her opening the door, and therefore I'll just ask it, and Your Honor can decide whether or not it's appropriate. When you went to D.C., did you go to the White House?
I did not go to the White House.
No. Well, apparently I'm going to get the answer anyhow. There you have it. Next question.
I did not go to the White House. She said under oath, even though there was an objection. She didn't wait for a response to the objection. It seemed like the judge was like, I'm not going to let her answer that question because it's beyond the purview of her relationship, which is what the extent of this inquiry was supposed to be about. This evidentiary hearing was only supposed to be about that. So he probably was going to sustain it, but she had to jump in there and say, I did not go to the White House. Yet, sure enough, from what we saw from Ashley Merchant, hit it, Viva.
Okay. When you went to D.C., did you go to the White House?
I did not go to the White House.
No. Well,
there you go. Appointment made February 24, 2023. Appointment started February 28th, 2023. A year ago, she was in the White House. She was in the freaking White House for 5.5 Hours. That's assuming that they didn't end it at midnight. I guess it says it ended. I guess it ended at midnight. She turned into a pumpkin at midnight, ended at 11:59 p.m. She went there from 6:30 in the evening, 6:30 in the evening until midnight. 5.5 hours she spent with.
Apparently, I'm going to get the answer anyhow.
There you have it. Next question.
Okay. I
That was
understand.
with Vice President Kamala Harris. With Vice President Kamala Harris. She spent 5.5 hours with Vice President Kamala Harris. She does not say, I don't remember. She just spat out there, I did not go to the White House. That is clear perjury. That is clear perjury. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I don't know why it is. Maybe Ashley didn't have evidence of her being in the White House yet at the time that she said that. But that's perjury. And it's crazy. They could have, once she said that, you can bring that out to show she's a big, fat, Fani liar. And she is a big, big, fat, Fani liar. That's what they could have brought out. I understand that they weren't supposed to bring out anything related to the politics behind this, but you're not bringing it out to show the politics and the fact, as Viva's pointing out, as to how gross this is, that there's collusion between Biden and Fani Willis, that, it's coming into 2023. It's time for us to start gearing up to go after our political enemies so that they can't run against us in 2024 with the freaking vice president. What the hell could Kamala Harris be contributing to an investigation into January 6th? What the hell could she actually be contributing there? You're spending 5.5 hours. What are you talking about for 5.5 hours? I really want to subpoena Kamala. I want to see someone subpoena Kamala Harris. Find out what the hell. This is the White House records. The White House records admit that she was there for 5.5 hours. How stupid are they? How stupid are they? Oh my God. Oh my God. So that's just as far as the grossness of the political context. They certainly, you would think, could have introduced this for purposes of impeaching credibility of Fani Willis, who's beyond reproach because she's an elected district attorney, according to Adam Abadi. This is a woman who very clearly was all too happy and eager to lie under oath. Maybe there's an explanation that we don't understand. I don't know. But I can't figure out. If you have any thoughts, any of you, tell me. Find some way. Give her, if you're her daddy, her precious Weather Underground Black Panther daddy, you love her dearly. Tell me how you can come up with some explanation that this is not perjury. Because I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. And I'm going to tell you something. It's very possible that this sort of thing could come up in today's inquiry. Literally. I mean, the guy who filed the complaint, I want to pull up that complaint. I had it here somewhere. Let's see if I can pull this up. The guy who filed the complaint raised 6 different issues with her. Once again, my live feed not listed in subscription feed. Hate these MFers. Yeah, that's the way things go. That's the way things go. So let's take a quick look at the ethics complaint that's serving at the heart of this. Filed by an individual named Stephen Kramer, who's like, I don't know Fani. I never met Fani. I'm just a resident of Atlanta, for Fulton County for the last, 20 years or so. And he wrote out, he said, I'm not even an attorney. I'm just writing out things I see from my district attorney that I find very disconcerting. We'll go through it very quickly. Basically, what he says, not supporting Fani, but others saying the location was VP house. What does that mean? VPR abbreviation. So it's in her house. So, you're saying so it wasn't perjury. It wasn't perjury because she never went to the White House. She just met with Kamala at Kamala's house. I guess that's possible. I guess you can say it wouldn't be crazy if it's so late at night that Kamala's going to meet at her house. That would, okay. I appreciate that thought. That's a very good thought. Thank you. Some type of parties, I understood it. Point from yesterday, Democratic senator claimed that vacations were not exorbitant. What he didn't say, most families can't afford 7 vacations in 6 months. Well, yep. Who the hell goes on vacation every friggin' month? It's not like she's like, making $1 million a year. That's the point for anybody. Yeah. Okay. I really appreciate this. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that. SK George says they're giving legal advice to Wade. They're writing the briefs that he never wrote. I don't know what that means in this context. This is not really about investigating Wade. This is about Stephen Kramer. Stephen Cosmo Kramer filing a complaint against Fani Willis. And he has a lengthy explanation of his issues that he has with her. As I recall, I went through this on stream, I think like a week ago or so. And he goes through a whole background that he's basically saying that he's been living in Georgia since 1986, resident of Fulton since 1999. He's been here for 25 years and married 2 kids. He's not a lawyer, no legal experience. He's like, I might even be doing this in the wrong format, but these are all the issues that I have. And she admits in a court filing she has a personal relationship with him, and she basically raised all the issues with the romantic relationship and with the issues as far as that she basically appointed this guy without having proper proof from the commissioner's office, and all these, and that Wade was not properly equipped for this position, and issues with how she paid this guy. And look at these different sections of the Fulton County Code of Ethics that she raises. Section 2-66A, Section 266B. To have an appearance of conflict is unethical. 266C says officers and employees should aspire to avoid even the appearance of impropriety, even conduct, circumstances that provide a reasonable basis for the impression that a person can be improperly influenced or unduly enjoy the officer or employee's favor. So it seems like she's not really upholding that when she hires her boyfriend, a special prosecutor. And then talking about how she's a race baiter. He brings up 268A. And these are all, the reason I'm going through this is because this is what we should anticipate is what this probe is going to be looking at. And here's the thing I want to point out. The reason this is highly significant is this is the body which is most equipped to punish her in the short term. The level of punishment can literally be, it can really range. They can literally go from doing absolutely nothing, saying we find no wrongdoing here, all the way through up until there could be sanctions, citations, there could be suspension of her law license, all the way up to disbarment. They wouldn't be a criminal proceeding over here. That's not what we would see. They don't have that capacity to punish her criminally. Although I guess they could refer it to the new district attorney. But if she loses her law license. But they go through section 2-74, which is an officer, an employee who has an interest in contract matter transaction that he or she has reason to believe will be affected by his or her official acts or actions shall abstain from participating. So she's got conflict of interest. How the hell are you signing a contract with this guy? And on or before April 15th, that she has to disclose her income or failure to disclose that. This is something that the Judge McAfee did not want to talk about, did not want to hear about. Section 2-79, Section of Ethics Code deals with financial disclosure amounts. You have to identify sources of things that you benefited from. The fact that she benefits from this guy and then gives him a job, that's a problem. That's the sort of thing that this is the body that's supposed to be saying, what the hell are you doing? So you're benefiting from him, you're not disclosing it, and you're giving him a job, and now there's all these different murmurings about the fact that you're in a romantic relationship. And now we're concerned that you can all these people who testify against you and all this evidence, geolocation, and they'll be able to look at the geolocation stuff. They'll be able to look at it and decide whether or not they want to, what credibility they want to give it. It's definitely coming in here. And I think that, and he cites, I think 6 or 7 of these different issues there. And they are the body which is most equipped to punish her quickly in the short term. Does that mean they will? No. They seriously could sit on this for 6 months. Or they might set up some private investigation. We literally have no idea what they're going to do. We are in uncharted waters, and I don't know what the depth of the waters here is. Shark levels? I don't know if it's alligator levels, if it's just swamp. We don't know. Could just be some guppies. We don't know. These are waters that I've never seen anyone be in before. So with that, I think it's good. It's good time for us to actually check in on this thing, see what we're going to find here. It's 9:59. I will tell you this. If this thing is going on, I will be covering it. If there's a whole long, lengthy hearing, I will be covering it. If instead of this being a real ethics probe, this turns into something that's very short, I'd probably cover the James Crumley trial, which is starting today. I'm probably going to transition over to that whenever this thing ends, assuming the James Crumley trial outlasts this. I expect this to be a very, very busy month. Anyhow, while you're here, if you could please like and subscribe while I pull up the Fani Willis. Let's go live. Not having it. Let's try on this. No, that's not it. Good Lord. YouTube is doing a very poor job here. Is that really true? It was on the White House lawn? By the way, I'm not going to be hitting this button very often. Let's see if C-SPAN has this. Maybe it'll be easier. It's not going to be Judge McAfee's. It's not going to be a Judge McAfee's thing. No, C-SPAN doesn't have this.
But I do not find.
We're all having difficulty finding this. I talked about this last night. I didn't get a chance to cover it. I haven't been covering that today. This is a completely different. This is really more. Today's ethics is about today's ethics is really, it's related, but it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than what happened in court last week. It's really about Fani's ethical violations as being that extend beyond. It's broader, which is why this is significant. It's broader because that was really how her violations affected Trump in that trial. This is all violations that she's engaged in, even if it doesn't directly affect that trial, even if it was caused by that trial, but doesn't affect necessarily the prosecution of that trial, which is any violations that she's ever committed. All right. I think we're all struggling to find this. That's what I'm basically seeing. If any of you have thoughts, if any of you, Robert and I are both struggling to find this. It's weird because they were supposed to be aired live. Let me see if I can find Commissioner. Robert and I are racing to find this. They told us it was going to be. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this. Holy moly. What the heck? You stink. Ugh! As of 10 a.m., the public Zoom link for this meeting is directed to an invalid notice. It's currently unclear if the meeting has been rescheduled. Whoa. That's why 11 Alive has been struggling. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fani was removed from the agenda this morning. What? Make tar and feathers gritty. AJC McAfee, now someone running against him. Captain Jimmy. So Fani had a girls' night sleepover at Kamala's. Imagine the one included underpants pillow fight that night. Ugh. Yeah, that is pretty scary. It's like, oh my God. Can you picture them running around in their pajamas? Oh God. Oh God. Ugh. 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 No. So yeah, you're correct, Amy. There is a challenger. Well, I'll come back to this in a second because I think let me just answer this question first. Will Fani and Wade be there? I don't know if they have an update here. I don't know if I'm not sure if we don't know what's going to happen. It's uncharted. It's really uncharted. She definitely got notice of it. When a complaint is filed against an attorney, the first thing they do is they process it, give it a case number, and send it out to you and direct you to respond to it within X period of days. 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 60 days. But you're supposed to put a response to it. We saw this happen with Giuliani when they had complaints about his representation of Trump, and they started going after his law license. He filed a response. That's normally the way things go. And then everything happens behind closed doors because they don't want to embarrass someone in case the complaints are empty. That's what happens normally. This is very unusual. So if there is some sort of live hearing, she definitely would have the right to be there and face her accusers. She would have the right to counsel. I would think that if there's some sort of hearing, that she would appear by counsel. It could be that this thing was adjourned because she couldn't get her counsel there, which would be a reason to adjourn it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. So I will tell you that Judge McAfee does have a new challenger, which is basically someone that a lot of people that the filing for challenges to a position, he ran unopposed for his position as a judge. Normally, someone gets slotted into that by the Democratic Party and they have no challenger. It means that they've been condemned by someone that they rubbed elbows with to be like a good person that we want to see having this job. At least that's the way it works in New York. And you know that once this person gets the nod from the DNC, that no one's going to beat them. Because in the inner city, if you're blue, you're basically, they confer godhood status onto you. But what I'm seeing here, those of you who are joining late, is as of 10 a.m., the public Zoom link for this meeting is directing to an invalid notice. Okay. So we're getting. Wait soon. Am I doing something wrong here? Potential criminal sent me a link. Oh, God bless you, potential criminal. You're way too kind. Let me check that out. That was very thoughtful of him.
Into the facility, and when there's puppies coming in from the public, they are tested in cars prior to entering the facility. We also do flea preventative. Currently, we're doing Bravecto.
This is what's
and
happening.
It's a 3-month flea preventative. Cats, pretty much same thing. We do the FERCP with cats, deworm, scan for chips.
What the heck?
And, we put collars
What the
on
heck?
dogs as they come in now, for easier handling with the kennel staff. So it's easier than trying to loop them a lot of times. So we've started adding collars to dogs. If a dog comes in with a collar that has identification, we submit that to the community team so that they can search the chip, the tag on the collar or anything else that might be on the collar. We also take pictures of the animals.
This is hilarious.
Try to get clear pictures. That's difficult
trolled.
sometimes.
That's trolled.
For further identification in case there's a person looking for a lost animal.
What would you say is the average time it takes to complete intake for one animal?
About 15 minutes. A lot of the tests take 8 to 10 minutes to process.
All right, let me turn this.
How long do they wait?
Fulton County Board of Ethics will not hear 2 Fani Willis complaints. The board apparently has determined does not have jurisdiction over Willis, the state constitutional officer. She keeps calling herself this stupid state constitutional officer. Oh my God. Oh my God. So what does this mean? She has to be held by the legislature in there? That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Oh my God. Well, that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. That totally sucks. Yeah. Potential criminal and Robert are both bummed out also. I'm going to tell you this. It's very, very aggravating because this feels like more cover up. It feels like much more cover up. This is very, very, very aggravating. It's like she's so. I mean, what's the term? What's the term they use for it? Because she's a what? What's the term they use? Constitutional officer, state constitutional officer. So who the hell is supposed to oversee a state constitutional officer? Is it the legislature? Is it just got to be indicted by the assembly? I don't. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. And is an indictment by the assembly and then conviction by the Georgia Senate? What the hell happens here? What the hell happens here? I gotta see what the makeup there is. I am curious as a constitutional officer because I'm gonna tell you right now. Normally, we assume that impeachment would never ever work. Impeachment would never ever work. The reason we assume impeachment would never work is because we're used to a governmental body that is so closely balanced as far as political numbers that you can't ever get enough people on board, right? In other words, you need conviction 2/3 of a Senate. You're never going to get 2/3 of a Senate. No one's going to be impeached unless someone literally goes like somebody literally goes crazy. You're never going to get 2/3 of a Senate to convict. Now, state constitutions could be different. Could be different. Could be different as far as how the numbers and stuff like that works. Definitely could be very different. But I will tell you this: the Georgia State Senate is 49 people, and it's 30 to 19 Republicans. 30 to 19 Republicans. They probably have a majority of their assembly, whatever they call their house. Probably have a majority of Republicans there too. So if the yardsticks, I'm now gonna pull up the Georgia State Constitution, for crying out loud. If it was on the White House lawn, if it was the way this gentleman is saying, the way Justin Wright is saying, if it was on the White House lawn, and she said she can go to the White House, my God, what a sneaky, 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 sneaky woman. Georgia State Constitution, impeachment. I want to see this. We're gonna find out how this woman can be held to task. You tell me that the ethics board. So they do have a House and a Senate in Georgia. The way it would work would be as follows. Let me walk you through this. I want to see how this woman can be held to account. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you ask me, she lied on the oath. You ask me, she's engaged in all sorts of ethical violations here. This woman needs to be held to account. And she's basically claiming that she can't be held to account because by an ethics board, because she's a constitutional employee. Well, the only other remedy that sounds most logical for a constitutional employee, I keep losing the term. What is that freaking term? Constitutional officer. Because she's a constitutional officer. I'll tell you right now. Impeach. Let's see what we got. House Representatives shall have the sole power to vote impeachment charges against any executive or judicial officer of the state. Trial impeachments. The Senate shall have sole power to try impeachments. When sitting for that purpose, senators shall be on oath or affirmation shall be presided by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Wait, are we? Supreme Court of Georgia. Let me make sure I'm on the right thing here. Oh God. Is okay. This is the Georgia Constitution. To be 100% sure. It's like this sounds too familiar. So this is the Georgia State Constitution. I was like, this reads too much like the U.S. Constitution. That's why I was like, let me make sure I'm not reading the wrong source to y'all, giving bad information to 4,000 people. That would bother me. But this is the Georgia State Constitution. All right. So if they're going to impeach her, the way it works is that the Senate has the power to impeach. Senators shall be on an oath or affirmation shall be presided by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the state of Georgia, not Chief Justice Roberts. Should the Chief Justice be disqualified, presiding justice shall preside. Should presiding justice be disqualified, the Senate shall select the Justice of the Supreme Court to preside. No person should be convicted without concurrence of 2/3 of members of the Senate entitled. Judgment impeachment case impeachment judgment shall not extend further than removal from office, disqualification to hold and enjoy any office, honor, trust, profit in the state to receive pension therefrom, but no such judgment shall relieve any party from any criminal or civil liability. They literally just lifted it straight from the U.S. Constitution. They just lifted it. So it sounds to me like they just need a simple majority in the Georgia Senate, in the Georgia House to bring charges, and then you would need an impeachment by the Senate. It sounds to me that's what you would need. So, yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. I'm so pissed off. I am so pissed off. Public needs to start exerting pressure on the Georgia legislature to impeach her. But I'm going to make impeachment great again. I am so ticked off. We should all be ticked off. Hiding behind your stupid title. Let me just share it to you.
Deserve a DA that won't have sex with his employees, because they deserve a DA that won't put money in their own pocket when it should go to benefit children, because we deserve better.
The people of Fulton County deserve a DA that won't have intercourse with their employees. A DA that won't put money into their own pocket. Those are literally the words that came out of Fani Willis's mouth while she was campaigning in 2020. And well, do I really even need to say it? That's pretty much exactly what she did. I mean, like a perfect description. Maybe she thought that that was the job description at the time, but anyways, she claimed that she would never. But it turns out that she just couldn't reject the temptation. That's exactly what she did. She put her boyfriend in a position of power and then benefited financially. And we now have a witness who has officially testified under oath that Fani Willis
Deserve a DA that won't have sex with his employees, because they deserve a DA that won't put money in their own pocket when it should go to benefit children, because we deserve better.
The people of Fulton County deserve a DA that won't have intercourse with their employees. A DA that won't put money into their own pocket. Those are literally the words that came out of Fani Willis's mouth while she was campaigning in 2020. And well, do I really even need to say it?
C-SPAN has this. Maybe it'll be up 268A. And these are all the reason I'm going through this is because this is what we should anticipate is what this probe is going to be looking at. And this is something that the Judge McAfee did not want to talk about, did not want to hear about. Section 279, Section of Ethics Code deals with financial disclosure amounts. You have to identify sources of better things that you benefited from. The fact that she benefited. While you're here, if you could please like and subscribe while I pull up the Fani Willis.
But I do not find
Financial disclosure amounts for 6 months. It's weird because it was supposed to be aired live. Let me see if I can find Commissioner. Robert and I are racing to find this. They told us it was going to be. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this. Holy moly. What the heck? You stink. Ugh! As of 10 a.m., the public Zoom link for this meeting is directed to an invalid notice. It's currently unclear if the meeting has been rescheduled. Whoa. That's why 11 Alive has been struggling. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fanny was removed from the agenda this morning. What? Make tar and feathers gritty. AJC McAfee now someone running against him. Captain Jimmy. So Fanny had a girls' night sleepover at Kamala's. Imagine the one included underpants pillow fight that night. Ugh.